Hi fellas, Nige back here again, and I've got another inbox review for you. And today we're going to be looking at Takom's Tiger 1 mid-production with Zimrit, with Otto Harris as a kit, and this one comes with a metal barrel and obviously his figure. Alright, we get two marking options, so both July 1944, but one with like a white over the top of the brown green. Okay, both from the Easter front. Okay, so without further ado, let's get it overhead and we'll get cracking. So as with always, we start with the instruction manual, and we've got a nice booklet here, okay, with a nice tag on the front, some blurb about it, and something about Otto Cash. Okay, so straight into it. Normal thing, we get all the bits and pieces about how to apply certain stuff, what to watch out for. Then we've got the sprue map. Okay, we then move on to the actual building of the tank. So we start with the lower hull, and we've got some fans and louvers or grills or radiators, maybe, I don't know, that go on the rear of the tank. We then move on to putting on the wheels and the suspension and a side skirt. Oh no, that's part of the side, part of the rear of the bottom of the actual tank. We've got our sprockets, drive wheels, and all that sort of stuff. Before then, we move on to actually building the tracks. As you can see, we've got lengths and we've got little parts and what have you, separate links as well. It looks like we might have a guide to actually help build these, and then we've got the teeth as well that go into the tank, so separate pieces. You can see how they go onto the front and onto the return roller. We then move on to how it actually all lies on the vehicle, and then putting the final couple of wheels on once it's all in there. We then got the bow plate, and adding and drilling out and adding all the exhausts on there. Side skirt, is it side skirt or side part of the actual hull going on, and then we've got the tow rope that goes on over there. Let's have a look at this. So this is part of the front of the Tiger, so the bow plates are this bit that goes across here, and in there we have a machine gun that goes on there, or a cannon of some sort. We've then got some more of the bow plate that goes on. Then we've got the upper hull, and it's telling us to drill some holes in those parts. Before we've then got the rear engine deck that goes on there with some grills, some float wedge. And then we can start looking at adding some odds and sods on there. So we've got some tow cables, some bars and ropes, and other bits and pieces that go on there. We've got some barbed wire cutters, spades going on there. Before that then gets mounted to the lower part of the hull. We then move on to starting to look at the turret now. Okay, so we've got the upper turret, we've got the commander's cupola and hatches, as well as another gun that goes on the top. I don't know what the caliber is, don't know too much about the Tiger. Before then, we move on to the actual breech mechanism of the actual main gun, which you can see just here, holding that into the actual front part of the turret. Another gun that goes off into one of the side ports. Then we've got the main actual turret with a couple of seats that go in there, the main breech that goes in, the top of the turret, the turret box at the back, spare tracks, and then we start looking at the gun part. We then move on to the metal barrel, it says, okay, and the flash suppressor, or the muzzle. Adding more little bits of parts, little pieces all over this tank. Okay, so you can see that these pieces go on the rear. I don't know what, they're probably there to hold some sort of fire extinguisher maybe, or something like that. Then we've got our actual figure itself that goes together, and then the colour callouts. So we've got the two different 217s. Okay, so Eastern Front, July 1944, and Eastern Front, another one from the Eastern Front, July 1944. So two different markings on there. And that's the instructions. Alright, we'll just get straight into it. So, starting with sprue K. Okay. Balance for it. These are parts potentially to get the tracks right. Okay. And then sprue M. Part of the actual running gear, or not the actual running gear itself, but on the rear of on the actual tank itself where the running gear will go. Tracks, so I'm not going to get these all out because these are all just the teeth, and as you can see they're all lined up in sections, so I'm believing that you would then glue these parts in and then cut them. That's what they want you to do, to get them all lined up nice and straight, which might be a little bit of a pain to actually do the cleanup, but you know, you have to wait and see and build it and see how it goes. Next we've got the lower hull and the turret. So we'll start with the turret, and as you can see we've got some nice Zimmerit on the actual turret itself. It's really nice, got the damage on there and all that sort of stuff. Looks really cool actually. Okay, and then the lower hull, some lovely nice detail on there, some nice recessed detail. Again, some of the Zimmerit on there, which again looks really nice. Now we're looking at the sprue with the what looks like the bow plate. Sorry, not the cap. Yeah, is it the bow plate? Real, I don't know. The rear plate, whatever that one is. So we've then got these side plates, the rear plates. Okay, and again, some really nice detail on here, the Zimmerit. We've got parts of the forward section. So we've got two different parts. Let's have a look. I can't see any major difference other than how the Zimmerit looks. Okay, but that's just me, untrained eye. Again, some nice detail, some nice cast detail on there. Side skirts, you know, all looks really nicely done. Moving on to parts of the exhaust and those fans for the radiators, I think they are. Some of the flaps or mud guards at the back. Some sort of canister. And again, it all looks really nicely done. Nothing on the flip side really. There's some nice detail on these mud flaps. So another sprue, some of the smaller parts on this. So we've got this rear turret box, okay, and then we've got some of the seats, some of the weapons, so a couple of the guns, and other little handles and holdalls and bits and pieces like that, and potentially some parts of the actual breech mechanism up here. But again, some really nice detail all over, okay, and I can't see any issues with this, okay. It should build up really nicely. Next one, we've got the tracks, and what I'm going to take one of these out so we can have a look. So you can see we've got our tracks here. We've got the long sections, then we've got individual tracks. Turn them over. Some really nice detail on here. Okay, so there's no, oh, there is a few bits of injection pit marks. Every 1, 2, 3, 4, every 5. Okay, there's an ejector pin mark on the main parts. There's a couple on the smaller parts, but none on the individual ones. Okay, so again, it's really nicely done. Okay, it should be, I don't want to say straightforward, but it might be fairly straightforward. The hard part would be putting the actual pins, the teeth into there and sorting them out. We then move on to the wheels, and again, I'm only going to get one out. Okay, so there we've got our wheels, and again, some nice detail on there. I can't see it, but we've even got, I'm hoping that's the right rubber markings, some of the writing from the rubber tyres. And yeah, looks all good. Another pack of the same in each one. So again, just going to get one out. So here we've got our sprocket and our drive wheels or return rollers, the fans, the radiators, nice cast texture on this part of the exhaust, and then we've got some of the suspension arms. Okay, just here. So yeah, looks really nice. Another nice sprue. No issues. Alright, this sprue has actually got the figure in. So we have a fuel barrel, we have another plate, probably for the nose. So again, some nice texture, some helmets, and then we've got our figure just here. And as plastic figures go, it actually looks really nice. Yeah, it looks okay. Looks good. We've got some jerry cans. Again, all really nice detail. I like the Zimrick texture. Again, I don't know whether that's oversized or whatever, but it looks really nice to my eye. The fuel drums, they're going to be a little bit of pain, because obviously you're going to have to get rid of the seam lines to build them together. Again, I don't know any other way that they could actually do it, to be honest. But yeah, you can have Going to be a bit of a pain, but there you go. Okay, so again, quite nice through. We've got a sprue of all the odds and sods, so the ropes, the barbed wire cutters. So you can see we've got a towing rope just there. We have our barbed wire cutters. We've got aerials, guns. That one, it's drilled out the end, which is good. And just some other little pieces, bits and pieces to add to the tank, and it'll just help fetch it all to life, really. We've got a what looks like an ammo belt just there. Yeah, looks quite nice. Final bag of 2 sprues. Oh, no, tell a lie. 2 more bags. The first one's got the upper hull and the upper part of the turret in, and you can see that it's got some nice texture on there. We've got our axes, we've got boxes, sledgehammers, spades, 2 different types, hatches, and it all again looks really nice. The cast texture back here is really nice, and it's really crisp molding. Every part of this kit has been really fine, crisply molded. And the last one is the sprue with the other parts for the turret and the main gun. So we've got our turret ring, 3 different types of front part of the turret. Just having a look, and what I can see, it's this part here that's different on every single one. Okay, and we've got different damage to the actual Zimmerit, commander's cupola, some hatches again with Zimmerit all over, muzzle, and by the looks of it, we've actually got a plastic gun as well. So we've got this part, and this part is the plastic gun, all slick molded, really nicely done. So you won't have to worry about a seam line if you didn't have the metal barrel. Which, talking of, we've got a lovely metal barrel here. Okay, solid barrel for your parts to go onto, and yeah, that's just a nice addition, a lovely turned barrel for this kit. We've got some photo etch for the grills. We've got some braided wire for the rope. I don't know whether that'd be a little bit heavy, but if you're not happy with that, you could replace that. And then we've got the clear parts, which I'm not going to get out because it's really quite small. And onto the decals. And oh, come on, let it open. Oh, can't get in. At last. Okay, and then we've got the decals just like that, and they look really nice. So that's Takom's Tiger. Okay, it looks a really nice kit. It's really crisp moulding. The Zimmerit looks really nice on it. Love the metal barrel. That's an excellent touch. I know you get a lot of metal barrels in kits nowadays, but it's the first time I've seen it. I think, I can't remember. Okay, I've slept since then. And it looks a really nice, I won't say easy build, but I think it'd be a nice build for somebody that's got some experience with it. A lot of little parts, obviously, always is, but the main part would be those tracks. You know, building those tracks might be a little bit of a pain in the bum. But other than that, looks really nice. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. That's it from me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.